How's the stash?
Glorious.
That's what I'm talking about.
Live from downtown Nashville, Tennessee.
This is StacheCast. Let's go.
Welcome to our ridiculous sports show.
Hello, everyone.
It's a frat party at a golf course.
That was one hell of an intro. I enjoyed every minute of that.
Come on. Do you even want to win?
He's like running into a 12-story building.
You want to talk about a whooping on national television?
I'm not playing for the next 2 hours. Bring me some chicken.
StacheCast, baby.
StacheCast, baby. Let's go. Dude, we got a full house today. Let's go. We got JJ. He's back with us after his beatdown from the Motor City Kitties up here at home with the Guardians. Glad to have you back, JJ. Kevin Boyle is back with us. Kay Boyens, glad to have you back, buddy. Alex Alper, the professor, as always, joins us from Los Angeles. The tweeter, Joe Hudson, our resident producer, making all the music, keeping us in rhythm, is here. And also my right hand, Kristen Mars. Call her K Mars now. And I am Nick Mars. This is StacheCast presented by Nashville Stash. We are coming at you from downtown Nashville, Tennessee. We're stoked that you're here. We got a big show. Like I said, full house tonight. Everybody's here. Lots to talk about. Playoffs are rolling. Bets are rolling. JJ, baseball season is going. We've got a lot of talk about that. We talked last week about the new rules. We talked about how that's going. You guys are getting out of the stadium a lot quicker. But Alex and I, we were kind of halfway talking a little bit about something before you got on, and we wanted you to kind of open our eyes a little bit. Give me the breakdown. Like, what's the deal after the game? Like, how much time? Like, did the players have media stuff? Like, if they've got, like, you got done, the game was a 6:00 Eastern game. What happens after the game? What are the players' responsibility? Like, give me a play-by-play.
Do they have media in Detroit? Do they not just, they're just like, we have a team. We used to have a team.
We're in Cleveland one. It's still media. If there's going to be media in Cleveland, there's sure as shit going to be media in Detroit. I feel like they've got a little bigger market. I don't know, probably fair, same size. Typically come in, the front office and the manager typically talk. They'll spread off and maybe have a few conversations with the coaches. Talk about like game plan adjustments. What do we need to improve on tomorrow? Maybe set up some meetings earlier for tomorrow. Player-wise, they're coming in, they're showered, they're eating, they're changing. Media starts to come in. Oddly enough, it seems like always time up to when they're showering. It's the weirdest thing ever. A lot of European soccer teams have started putting like a little room attached to the locker room. I think that's a story for another time. I think that's a wave because naked dudes walking around and in the back of photo shots are not the play.
It's not it, right?
And then everybody make sure there's no move. We're good, locked in for the next day, and then it kind of roll home. Exactly, Boyle.
6 inches, right?
So there's not as much media. The media, like my assumption was that there is a lot more during the regular season, that the media is kind of coming to the players and what they have going on, like whatever their itinerary is. The media is fitting into that, as opposed to the players having to go sit down and do a press conference or something like that, whether regardless if it's home or away. Do they have different responsibilities, home versus away?
Yes and no. So 15 minutes after the game, on a home game, Tito's going to go do a press conference. As soon as that's over, then media availability opens up. Second meeting, we're 5, 10, 15 minutes later. The only difference would be if we're on the road, it's going to be physically, they're all going to shove into his office. They're also put it on Zoom. And then the media guy, for the most part, says, hey, here's a key player this you're going to talk to today. And they kind of organically grab a few guys, but for the most part, they're talking to a guy or two.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
So like an hour and a half, like game over,
45 minutes,
home versus away.
Yeah. Away is actually easier because you got hard bus times. Home, it kind of is a trickle. So our bus times on the road are like 30, 45, and 60. So 60-minute bus only, coach. Everybody's out by 45 minutes.
Right. So my question is, you sent me the itinerary, your day sheet was what I would call it, for like for your travel. Like, you guys were in Cleveland, you had to go to Boston, then you had to go from Boston to New York back to Cleveland. And one of the things that stood out to me was bus calls at 3 p.m., for example, at the players' lot behind Progressive Field. 3:00 is bus call. You guys are leaving at 3. It says 3:15 arrival at the airport.
There's no.
That's a scene. I don't know the traffic in Cleveland. That seems like a little bit narrow unless you've got a police escort.
Typically, I'll put the bus at 5 and we'll actually pull in right at 5:15 on the dot. We may hit a ticket traffic and we're like 5:17, but yeah, Cleveland. I'm so spoiled here versus Nashville because when I lived in Hermitage, it'd take me 45 minutes to drive 12 miles to Nissan Stadium.
Can you imagine giving yourself 15 minutes to get anywhere, Alex, in LA?
No, it takes you 15 minutes to like get off of the LAX exit before you even get into the airport. Like ridiculous.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But how much time does it take you to get off the 405?
The 405 to the 101 to the 95. Sometimes I don't even take the 405. I just go PCH the whole way. Such a good deal.
Oh, love that drive up Malibu, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I feel like, I mean, I haven't done a ton of driving in Ohio, but the traffic in Tennessee is getting atrocious. I mean, between the lane changing, the lack of blinkers, the
mouth breathing, honking,
all of this type of stuff, it's getting kind of out of control.
Do you have gills? Can we go back to mouth breathing? What is mouth breathing?
Yeah.
You ever seen somebody?
I breathe in and out of my mouth all day.
If you ask somebody a question and they look at you like this, that's a mouth breather.
This is a podcast. You do have to. We can't see what you're doing.
Right, but if you're watching on YouTube, like straight open. If you're a real StacheCast fan and you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Nashville Stache, then you could see the face that the mouth breather makes when they're breathing out of their mouth, and it looks a little bit like this. So if you didn't get to see that, go to YouTube, sign up for. Subscribe to StacheCast at Nashville Stache, and you can see what a mouth breathing looks like. But in the meantime,
got the best mouth breathing.
All right, let's talk about this. All right. You got this crowd. I want to talk about this. Let's talk about we talked about airplane etiquette a little bit last time. Let's talk about traffic etiquette. Okay, let's talk about the guy who sees we can touch base on some more airplane etiquette. We never know what you guys got. You got some different nuggets. If you've had some experiences, we're always open to some more stories. We love stories. But in this particular story, the traffic the lane's backing up and everybody sees it. What's with the group of people that decide that it's their right to get into the shoulder like it's an emergency lane, and they just decide
they've got a pregnant woman in there, obviously, and that's why they're using that lane. A lot of pregnant people in Tennessee.
There's 75 pregnancies happening.
I don't have a PC comment for this. I'm just going to bow out gracefully.
Well, then take that politically correct shit. Put it in your pocket and tell me what you were going to say anyways, because I don't really give a shit whether it's politically correct.
I mean, people go full retard sometimes, and it's just amazing on I don't understand.
Ask for it. Yeah, they do. Well, there's a lot of things so for example, I mean, maybe so. There's probably some people just floating around like giraffe pussy, just high as fuck. Just out there living their best life. But sometimes you'll have that.
Okay.
But my question is this, Alex, one of the things that blew my mind is, let's talk about LA traffic, is the motorcycles that split lanes.
It's legal.
That's the most psychotic shit I've ever seen in my life. Has anybody else seen this? Is this
and then it's legal.
Terrifying.
It's legal for them to fly through in between cars. It's madness.
Have not seen it in LA. Saw it in France for a little bit with people on the back of little mopeds with a baguette. And I'm like, these bitches want to die today.
For sure.
No, dude. India, rickshaws, they literally drive like this. And they're like, oh, and there's bulls the size of my car walking in the middle of the street. And they just are untouchable. There's no lanes. Everyone's just looking like a granny on cars, man.
India sounds like fucking New York City.
Yeah, I got no interest.
I gotta know what Joe does for a living. That he was in India watching bulls on the street.
Recruiting,
lifetime, bro.
IT.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Actually, I just quit my job this week.
Well, you know what? That's awesome.
Week.
That makes perfect sense. IT.
Cheers
India,
to adventures.
it's basically synonymous.
I don't do IT. I'm just in the industry.
I would say my favorite is all the people that drive really, really slow in the left lane, and you see just lines of cars and traffic that's actually creating all the traffic that would never be there. If the slow ass people would just get out of the left lane, you have no business being there. None. You have no business. Just there's 3 other
Right.
lanes. Pick one.
If you're in the left-hand lane and there is
You're an asshole.
and you're in the left lane, you're an asshole. If you're in the left lane, this is my rule of thumb. If you're in the left lane and there's one car behind you,
Move.
they're an asshole. Okay.
I'm in the left
you're
lane
go-
because I don't care about you.
If you're in the left lane and there's 5 cars behind you, you're the asshole. You understand?
Amen.
Like that's the difference. Like if you're in the left lane and you're doing
Won't be the first
speed
time.
and you're going fast, right? And somebody's on your ass, like then you have every right to take it in your sweet time to find a nice, easy opening for you to get over and let that person go. But if there's 70 cars behind you because you're going 68 and a 70 in the left lane, then there's a special place burning down south for you. And you need to get over out of that lane. But left hand, yes. But it's the lane, the left-hand lane being the fast lane has grown. Now it's the left 2 lanes. Now, if you're not in the far right lane, if you're not going this like light speed, I feel like there's somebody up your tailpipe.
Ludicrous.
You got to be in the middle at this point, and it happens everywhere. Like to Knoxville, like I've had this conversation with Nick. I'm like, just stay in like the middle of the right lane because those keep moving. All of a sudden, the far left just slammed on their brakes all the way back into traffic for no reason, and you get there and you're like, what is
somebody
the deal?
who's smarter than me who understands like how this all works? How is it that a lane on the far left that does not have an exit, a stop sign, a stop light, even a yellow slow down sign? It is all gas, baby, hammered down, nothing to stop you from here to Mexico. Just let her rip. And yet that seems to be the lane that comes to a complete stop on the interstate. There are 2-lane roads in Columbia, Tennessee with mules on them that have a better flow of traffic than the interstate sometimes because of these yahoos in the left. What are we doing?
It's math.
Did somebody
word.
explain
The
it to
left
me?
lane is the only lane
One
that
word.
doesn't have 2 outlets. The left lane can only go right. The middle lane can go left or right, and the right lane has exits and can go left. So you have more ability for those 2 to shrink over time.
So you're
Whereas the
saying the
left is
middle
just
lane
stuck.
is the most efficient lane to be in because you have multiple avenues of exit, but
No,
don't
I'm
you have
just sa- I'm
twice
just
as many
saying that-
cars
I'm
coming
sa-
into your lane?
I'm
So
saying
wouldn't
the
that
left lane
negate
has
the lack of
more-
exit on the right left-hand lane? I think I've got you. I think
No,
I'm understanding you.
Math. It's the only one. It's the only lane that only has 1 option.
Yep.
Okay.
Also,
So
my
I have
face
a-
when he
your
first said
left-hand
that
lane
is
has
mouth breathing.
one option in and one option out, but does the middle lane having 2 options in not add an additional volume that slows them down?
Well, it's more noticeable when the fastest lanes have to slow down. The other
I
lanes
hate
are
it.
just like
I
chilling.
fucking hate it. It makes me mad. I am like, why are we stopping in this left lane? I don't like if Joe piped up in my Waze app and was like, the left lane is slowing down because mathematically it's the least efficient lane to be in, I would throw my phone out the window. I would be so mad. That would be the tipping point. I would be over the edge. That would be it.
I miss global pandemic traffic. That was the best traffic.
Oh yeah, nobody
Oh.
out there. Just
Nobody
flying.
out
I-
there.
It felt
All
like
driving with
what's
masks
that?
on in their cars.
What was,
Yeah. You guys are really.
what was that?
you guys are
What was the Will Smith movie where he was? There was nobody there. I am.
I
I am
am.
Will-
Legend.
I am Legend. Yeah, that's what I bet. It
Michael
felt
B.
like driving
Jordan
around.
about to remake that one.
Oh shit! Really?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
You can't remake
Right.
that movie. It's not a remakeable movie.
It needs money
You know
for all
what?
those
I just
kids.
read stuff on the internet, Tweeter. I don't.
Is it like maybe like
basis.
is it a remake or like
Read
a
it and
sequel?
regurgitate
It's like
Regurgitated.
regurgitating
Read.
facts.
Is it like a sequel
Also,
or a
like you guys are vastly missing the biggest point of traffic, and that is just summed up in one word: boomers. That's it. That's all you need to know.
remake?
All these old people
Mouth
out here
breathers.
just
Can't argue.
mouth breathing on the highway.
Can't argue.
I don't know if
Get
they're
out of the
mouth
way,
breathers,
Gramps.
Kristen, but like they're just like, oh, you know what? I don't understand how people are just like stopped on the highway and people are trying to drive on the parkway. I mean, come on, man. It's just a straight boomer.
Did any of your parents drop a Sunday drive comment on you when you're like driving your mad
Sunday
as shit?
drive.
Oh, there's not a Sunday drive. It's, my dad
Yeah,
said that.
Sunday drive.
Make me just my head fucking explode. Like, I don't give a fuck about a Sunday drive. I'm trying to get to point A to point B. They can pull the fuck over and
Efficiently.
go.
Yep.
Dude, as soon as I got in, go ahead.
I gotta know. Is that fucking salmon or is it pink?
We're talking about
You
JJ
kinda-
shirt.
Or flesh.
If your face wasn't windburned in pink and red, I think you just about blend into the just about blend into that wall.
That's
He's
what I
got
said
that tan
earlier.
for sure.
Think
Is
of
this
like
a- is
a
this
permanent
a
version
new-
of Patrick Starr.
I was like,
Is this a new wall? Yeah,
Your
you do
cousins.
look like Patrick from SpongeBob for sure. Is that a wall in your new house?
Yes.
You should drop something like a blanket behind it or something. Give yourself a little color or something to, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Wrap
Paint,
myself in a-
maybe
wrap-
paint it. I don't know.
Toss
I don't
myself in a burp cloth to get a little color going on.
know. Yeah, so
you're
you're about to go into hardcore LC duty right now this evening, aren't you? You taking over?
just a little bit, yeah. It's go time. Just
What do you and LC? What do you and
Fingers, what
LC
do we
do
got?
at 11 p.m. at night? Do you guys flip on the telly and as you on the rocking chair, or
Did you
They're
hop
on
on the
this-
boob?
She's on the awesome cycle of every 4 hours just to eat, burp, and shit, and then she goes back to sleep. So every 4 hours on the dot.
have you got on the same schedule? You just work up and you just do
Oh,
the same thing?
I have learned to power out the best 2 hours of sleep you can humanly have, because obviously you're like
Sounds
sitting
like
there
my
for the
work
first-
day.
Truth.
Crushing Netflix series on the couch is what I've been doing. And then
What are you watching on Netflix?
Watching the Lakers. I like the West. Just finished The Diplomat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Diplomat.
was curious
I'm
about
balls deep in the Wire rewatch right now on HBO Max.
I watched it twice. Phenomenal. I love going to Baltimore.
Man,
Holy shit.
fucking West Baltimore.
Pandemic.
Ah,
Man down.
I'm just waiting for all these murders to happen. If Ray Lewis just like pop out from a limo and just like, oh snap, it did happen.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know shit about what you guys are talking about. So
I love that show in Baltimore until I go there and realize I'm the color of salmon, and I don't like being.
Why do you wear shirts that make you look more pink?
Yeah,
You wear the tightest khakis with your
He
big
wanted to be
thick
neutral.
ass. Then you wear
This neutral tone.
pink, fresh,
Dude,
clean
you know
tees.
you're first team all meat. You know.
You are first team all meat.
My
He calls
ass
him
eats all
BC.
burgers.
He calls him butt cheeks because his britches are always tight as.
My ass is always eating the britches.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
really uncomfortable to be around. But hey, you'll have that. So
That's It is what it is. I mean, butt cheeks.
Alper
gonna be
zoomed
butt
in
cheeks.
on opening day in Seattle. He was like, JJ's got a vest on, guns out, and the tightest pants I've ever seen.
I was like, everyone else is wearing like a khakis and whatnot, and I'm like, is JJ wearing baseball pants?
no,
Nope.
JJ's wearing
Nope,
some
those are just
spandex
his
Man,
khakis. man.
you should feel
Yeah.
blessed that like people are just making fun of you for like
For your muscles.
the tight pants, not the way you look in the tight pants. Because if
No, you're
I
crushing
was
it.
wearing tight pants, people would be like, "Why the f are you wearing tight pants?"
Tight pants.
Like at least they're just like, "Oh man, look how tight those
Yeah.
pants are."
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? His butt cheeks look pretty good, but like whatever. So like they'd be like, "Why is this guy wearing tight pants? He has got the biggest foop ever." But at least you're sleek and pulling off salmon and
Yeah.
just skin tone color khaki, just
Yeah, you're just
bringing the vest game back to
We're-
its height.
hey, Show Pony loves your best game.
He
So,
does.
yeah,
He
that-
does.
Who's Show Pony?
Shane Bieber was telling
Ooh,
Nick that he told me he thinks I'm undefeated in the vest. It's partly because we were at a Cavs game and there was secure. I was trying to talk to him, explain how he needs to leave, and the security guard was all the way up my ass. And I was like, "Hey, sweetheart." I dropped "sweetheart," which if you know me, it means I'm like,
pissed.
he needs to be undefeated
Yeah.
in the 6.5K category. That's what I know. Tell him that.
it's like, "Hey,
Tell him
sweetheart,
that.
I understand you
Tell
got a
him
job
that
to do."
when I'm taking my morning time, aka read between the lines. Like I'm looking at lines, and I mean, as soon as I see 6.5 on the Beebs, I'm just like, 1, happening. 2, what am I parlaying it with? 3, what am I then going to round robin it with? And then 4, I'm just going to smack all of them again.
How many legs on a parlay for it to turn into a round robin?
What is a round robin? Yeah, I don't even know what it is.
That's a Boylism. That's what that
Hey,
is.
Boyle, I'm gonna ask you to do me a favor.
Yep.
One of the things we do on this show when we talk about betting is we pretend we're talking to my dad. My dad is one of the types of guys who likes to bet, just getting into it. And but he needs some very simple explanations of some acronyms and some things that you're saying as far as break that down what you just said as far as parlaying and round robining and all of that kind of stuff. So somebody like my dad would understand.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, get your hands a clapping, your dollar bills are flying. We're about to go down in history, getting the debrief on the betting highlights. So that was terrible. It was so much
like
better
I
when
said,
you get
a little off the rails. But your last dollar bills of flying was Mr. and Mrs. Morris. So
yeah, you got to keep the dollar bills flying. I don't think you can get off the stripper track on that one. Yeah, it's bad.
You got to keep the dollar
All
bills
right.
flying.
So round robin. Everybody knows what a parlay is, right?
More than one bet.
More than one bet
Together. Gotta win them all.
Professor.
Nice.
Right,
and they all have to hit for you to win. Yes. So we know parlay.
Yes. So a round robin. This is one of those new nature bets from DraftKings. I don't know if FanDuel does it.
They do.
But I know they do.
Yeah, you can round robin in Vegas.
Hey, I love it. The only thing I have against Vegas is that they won't let you round robin stuff. Anyways, live, and we know that. Round robin, you go 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 legs, and then it's going to pair you up on all the 2 picks, the 3 picks, the 4 picks, and then the holy matrimony of hitting the 5-game parlay. So if you wager it appropriately and weight it heavy on the 2-pick parlays and kind of get it in that 150, minus 150 to plus 110 range, when you start comboing bets, you're going to have a plus 200. And when you place a larger bet on those 2 pickers, I'm sorry, do you need to birth the baby, JJ?
Look at JJ.
I'm with you. 2 bets at 1 plus 150.
All right. So
he's trying to do math. I got it. Okay, good.
Yeah, I wasn't good at that stuff. So I make bus times.
I just think bus times.
Hey, man, make it all go away. That's what's up. That's what you do. Make it all work. Logistics.
All right. So if I understand you correctly, if I've got, let's say there's 5 baseball games that I want to bet on, and
it's gonna be,
I want to pick all 5 winners, and then that's going to be one bet, right? But then what ultimately, if I round robin that, then what it's going to do is it's going to give me 5 additional bets, which is going to be all individual games split up. So that if one of the legs doesn't happen, I can still win money.
Okay.
That's right.
So,
that's right. So how many times have you been wagering and you're like, I got this crafty 3-game parlay, I got this crafty 4-game parlay, I got this crafty 5-game parlay, and then one of them doesn't hit, and it's by Shane Bieber getting 5.5 Ks when he should have got 6.5, and
that half K was
like, wow, it's done, it's over, it's game over, cash city. Nope. If the other 4 legs hit and you played the round robin, you've actually hit on 65, 70% of the money that you laid out. You're just out that 30%. So when you go 5-game parlay, all you got to really do is hit 3 games. You're going to win your money back and you're going to be up a little bit. Number 4 hits, you're going to be up a substantial amount. And then 5, you're going to hit the whole honey hole and all 2 game, 3 game, and 4 game picks, or, 1 all the way down, 2 all the way down, 3.
Now,
and
do
then
you
it
get to pick
staggers.
the games that are round robin together out of that 5?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
pick-
absolutely.
It doesn't
Yeah.
just auto pick it for you. So
Oh,
you have the control fully.
I mean, I'm all over the map. I got a round robin right now of, let's check this out.
What
I got a
format are you using?
round-
FanDuel? What is this on?
He's a DraftKings guy.
Absolutely
DraftKings,
never. Absolutely
Okay.
freaking
DK.
never.
Sponsor us.
DK all day.
Hey, side note about DraftKings. When I was in Boston, I was realizing that based on a couple of different signage, that I think DraftKings was founded in Boston.
Based in Boston.
Boston. Yeah, based in Boston. A lot of signs said bet local, and it was DraftKings, and it was a bunch of Boston people on the signs. I was like, oh, DraftKings must be based in Boston.
Wicked good odds.
Like every freaking shoe and every all these other types of people. Anyways, back to you, bud.
Well, do you do the progressive parlay? So progressive parlay, a little bit less odds than a regular parlay, but you're allowed to lose a bet or 2 depending on what you're betting. So you
It's
parlay
basically Spanish for round robin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little easier
Yeah.
to digest because you're
Interesting.
not. Yeah,
I always thought that the progressive one was like that you had to pick games that didn't happen at the same time. Like you had to pick like on a football, it had to be like a 12 o'clock, a 3 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock.
Schedule
And then
progression.
schedule progression. Like if you won the first
No.
one, the second one, and the third one, like I thought it was
too
like that.
literal. It's
Too
basically
literal?
like
Very
I
literal.
think these 7 teams are gonna win. These 9 teams are gonna win.
Yeah.
And you can still win your parlay if 2 of them lose.
I like that.
But your
Yeah, I think-
your odds are heavily discounted.
I think Alex would turn his desk over if he was able to get to DK on the line, and because all he would have to do is establish a baseline of 5 things in sports that day, next 2 days, that he thinks are going to happen. It doesn't matter what they are. It could be golf, it could be baseball, it could be hockey, it could be goal scorers, it could be points, it could be 3-pointers, it could be all of the things. So it opens up the entire thing, and all you got to do is hopefully get 3 out of 5, 4 out of 6, 5 out of 7, and 6 out of 8 correct. So you're looking at having to hit 75%. How many times have you logged a bet and hit 75% of it and be like, oh, man, that was
More-
good if those
More
other
times
lines
than I
would've
care
hit."
to think about. Actually.
Well, for
There it
the,
is.
Exactly.
for the resident meathead and mouth breather, sounds like because you're investing more money.
Dude, are you up on this
time-
mouth breathing thing? I did
No,
not.
I'm-
I was
I'm-
not on.
I'm dead on. If you need a visual of a mouth breather, turn on Trailer Park Boys, and every single person on that show is a mouth breather.
I know. Now I get
The
it.
guy with the Coke bottles?
Yep, mouth breather.
Every
100%.
single one of them.
Bubbles.
Every single one of them.
Bubbles is
mouth-
always going.
Most
Nice.
of my hometown,
uh,
for sure.
mine too.
Where's your hometown?
Madison, Virginia. But we have great traffic etiquette. I'll say that. Everybody waves at each other. Everybody lets each
How
other
far-
go.
How far outside of Rand University are you?
Rand University.
Randu, Marshall, come on, bro.
I don't know. I ran home from school every day, but
Ah! Got him good.
Love it. All right.
put that back in the pocket real quick. All right, y'all go ahead.
So round robins are the new thing that we're gonna have to do a little research on and try to get. But that's a good nugget, Boyle.
Yeah.
That's interesting
Yeah.
little place, and I have to do a little bit more digging on
that
that.
sounds like the type of betting
That's
I would like
something
to personally do, to be honest.
Right. That
Yeah.
seems-
So like
Like that.
you would potentially do I think it's a 5 game, and I think the math works out to 55 combinations of 2 game, 3 game, and 4 game picks, plus the original 5 gamer that you do. And then you can wager different amounts on the different steps. And the way that the money is smart is you wager heavy on the 2 picks, decrease it for the 3 picks, decrease it for the 4 picks, and decrease it for the 5th pick. And then if you scoop the whole pot, it's like a wrap job that Alex knows all about. You bet them individually and then you wrap them. And then you bet this group individually and then you wrap them, which means you bet the games individually and then you parlay them all together, hoping that you hit a couple of the same games and then all of them at one point in time. And I know the professor is proficient because we had that great Royal Flush evening at the Beer Park. Was it Beer Park?
Beer Park in Vegas sponsor us.
Yeah, Beer Park.
Watching USC
What about
basketball,
the
USC football.
Let's rein in. What about the? Let's talk about the magician.
Belly.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
But the magician blew your freaking pants off.
Oh, it was awesome.
Do we have enough time?
Absolutely, we have enough time. Let's talk about the magician in Vegas at the Beer Park who came in and absolutely
Came in
at
hot.
first. At first he walked up, and I'll be honest with you, I mean, everybody was kind of like, let's give him some
wanted
money
to
to
write
make
him
him
off.
go away. Let's give him
That's
some money.
right.
Let's pay him to go away. And then what happened? Boyle?
Blew my mind.
Let's set the scene here, you guys, for everyone. We are at a bachelor party, Nick Mars' bachelor party in Vegas. We have we're all sitting together at a table.
We just played. Didn't we had just played golf, and we just got back to the hotel. So we were all we cranked up on bourbon and golf.
We ordered some drinks, as you do in Vegas. We ordered some food, and here comes this guy to be like our table magician. Like somebody, like this is like the adult version of like somebody coming over and making like balloon animals. Yeah. But it's for adults and it's magic.
Make me a bicycle clown.
Exactly. So then go.
Shut
Boyle.
up, funny guy, and make it. So Vince Vaughn, clown guy, walks up to the table and blows Boyle's mind.
Blows my mind. I am floored. The close hand magic thing is just crazy because I know it's semi-fake, but I know that it's happening in real time. Like, there is no magic in the world. It's not like, 6 quarters over here. It's but like you did that. And like, I respect the skill set that gets me over there. Like, when you're talking about these old magicians, like the ones that have like the specials, and they're like, I'm going to make a Boeing 747 disappear. I'm like, that's a fucking mirror. Okay, great.
Okay, this dude walks. So the card tricks that this guy pulls out at first is what got us rolling. The coins is where I'm going, but the card tricks is what he starts with. The guy comes out with the card tricks, and he starts pick a card, do a card, flipping it around. There's no way it's in somebody's pocket. He's doing all this stuff, right? And it's all right there. Boyle physically moves down the table a little bit closer to this guy, and he starts pulling out. He pulls out a coin. And he starts doing, this stuff where he's like, okay, I got this coin, does like this. And he takes Boyle's hand and he does something. And all of a sudden Boyle like feels the coin, like in his hand go from 1 coin to 2 coins. Like he had his hand like this and he just kind of moved it. And Boyle like visibly goes, what the fuck? Like, and all of a sudden he opens his hand and there's 2 coins there. That's and then he did 2. How far up did he go? Did he go to 6? He went at least to 4.
Yeah,
what got you? What made Steve Wilby cry a little bit on site was when he goes. Wilby was like, "You're doing it. I know you're doing it. He's like, I got you figured out." He makes Steve put his arm out like this, and he puts his they were like separated, and he does it like, and he goes, "Okay, put your hand over like this," and he like does something down his arm, and next thing you know it. The coin ended up in Steve's hand, and Steve like goes lost. He goes. I need vodka. This is exact his response to it. It was the most mind blowing shit I've ever seen in my life, and I'm sitting here just watching it. I couldn't believe
I gave that guy more money than I've given any stripper in Vegas. 100%. Blew my effing mind.
At first, it was like wadded up, like just take them, and then it was like
I just wadded up undies and threw it at him. And I was like get the fuck out
guy
of
made
here!
His
like,
year.
Come on.
Yeah.
Damn, he made JJ's shirt disappear too. JJ, That's amazing.
Touche.
Boom.
Touche.
JJ had himself a
I
good
can't-
time in Vegas.
I
That
can't understand if JJ's got a salmon shirt on or he's just like tits deep in breast milk.
You have the pump on right
You think
now.
I'm pumping? Just getting at
No,
it.
this is the unfortunate part about being in our friend group is that the ball busting is relentless. And so JJ, I know you got to get going. You've got some fatherly duties that you've got to tend to.
Get it done, son.
But before you get out of here, I wanted to get your thoughts. We don't have an official shower thoughts with JJ because this isn't your shower thought. But one of the things that I wanted to get your thoughts on before you leave was your opinion on the eyelashes that have made their what is the deal with girls' eyelashes being so long? Have you noticed this? Have you noticed
the fake eyelashes?
The fake eyelashes that are coming out here, like they look like everybody looks like a Volkswagen Beetle, like driving around with them.
Are these only at the
poking out.
strip club or like everybody's caught on?
No, I'm seeing them. Like that was the biggest thing when me and my dad were noticing in Boston at Fenway Park. I'm like, what is the deal on you got on sweatpants and Reebok slip-ons, and you've got eyelashes that are hitting people from 2 feet away. Like,
Dude, Kristen knows
what's
those
the deal?
Reebok's
Kristen?
got a little bit of shelf in them. They
Do
got a little
what?
bit of shelf in them. They're like, I've seen some sneakers with some heels in it. I'm like, that shoe looks uncomfortable. They're like, yeah, they're Reebok heels. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't
get it.
It's a different
understand.
pump.
I
It's
don't
totally
get
different
it.
type of pump.
There's not one man that's ever walked the face of the earth that's breathing air that said, you know what, she's pretty cute, but you know what would make her hotter? Her eyelashes were a little longer.
Super tall.
Here's
eyelashes.
here's gonna be my thought on this.
If those tennis shoes had a little bit of a heel, just bump her up just a scoop.
Man, if she was just taller than me, I'd be so into her. Never said.
When I was 16 years old, my buddies and I hopped into a truck and drove to Louisville, Kentucky, into this bad strip joint called Deja Vu. Every half hour, he paid $5, got a 5-minute lap dance, and a free
Sponsor
porno DVD.
us.
You know, I sit there all night.
Free porno DVD.
A free porno DVD, bad. I remember this. I don't know if this is PC, but the first one I got, it was big black lusty tits, and I went home and I handed it to my brother. And then 3 years later, my parents found it, and they called me to say, "Hey, your brother said you left porn in his room. Is it here?" I was like, "Nah, that ain't mine." I was like, "Fuck that." And
That's not my genre.
I buried his ass, and he got fucking in trouble. Anyhow,
Dude, you stayed burying Jake. You blew up his
That's a good
computer
story.
with porn on his
with porn,
laptop.
the bang bus, it'll get you every
Yeah.
time. Boyle, save
Good
yourself.
story, dude.
Don't go to the bang bus. It'll get a virus, and you're gonna have to blame.
Hey, they don't have back shots. I'm not watching.
back shots only. I'm with you. Just go to Reddit.
Back shots
Um,
only.
Anyhow, I walk into this bad strip joint, and these chicks have the longest eyelashes. The only thing I think, I swear to God, they're foot-long eyelashes. They're just covered up the fucking bad body, bad face. All you had was just these eyelashes flashing at you.
I feel like, do you remember that old Sesame Street? You remember the Snuffleupagus? You remember Snuffleupagus with the big, long, swoopy eyebrows? That's what's going on right now. Just like there's good trends and there's bad trends, right? Like we all have definitely participated in both, right? This is a bad trend. This is a bad trend. The
Yeah.
mullet, unfortunately, is still hanging on for its second round.
Making a comeback.
It's rough stuff.
I'm not
too.
I'm not a pillar in the community of like the good looking breed, but like, people just gotta like own their own stroke. And like, let me bring that around campus, I guess, a little bit. Is like when we were growing up, like it was about chicks having the biggest sunglasses in the freaking world. Like couldn't see most of their face.
Yeah.
And
huge glasses, big.
one of the most honest things that I ever heard from somebody was a girl that I went to college with, and she called them ugly blockers. And I was like, what the f- is that?
Yeah.
And she was like, well, it covers up most of my face. so that people will think I'm attractive. And I was like, yeah, but what happens when you got to take those fuckers off?
Yeah, it's like when they turn the lights on at the bar on Demumbrian. It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's a light switch away from being hot, but Jesus Christ.
It's a great phrase. It's a great phrase. True.
Oh shit.
I mean,
I
Washington
can neither
Commanders
confirm nor
feels me.
deny. I say I
Yeah,
can neither
exactly.
confirm nor deny the existence of this, as I am happily married and have not seen another woman for 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't exist. They
Praise
no longer
be.
exist.
Do not exist.
They no longer
Hey,
exist.
Mars.
I did get
Hey,
laid earlier
Mars.
tonight, so
K Mars
I
is
think
the
the
only
I-
female on this show. Can we hear from her about this phenomenon?
Yeah,
Let's talk about these eyelashes.
Oh my gosh.
Because all her bridesmaids are running around with these flappers on at the wedding.
Yeah,
Really?
I did
Yeah.
wear some for the wedding, just because for pictures and stuff that it helps like your eyes to show up in pictures. But I do not wear them ever. I just kind of want to have my own eyelashes. You know, I'm like whatever I have is whatever I have. But it is what every girl is wearing now. They all are wearing the fake eyelashes. Like that's, but it's like the fillers too. It's like for the lips. It's like the fake. They don't just stop there. It's the fake eyelashes. It's the
86
lip fillers.
Botox for me.
It's I'm like I'll do, I mean
Botox.
I'll do Botox to help with some wrinkles and stuff, but like I don't want to look completely different where I don't look like myself. Like what my thing is, like if you take all that off, then what do you look like? You look that bad that you got to add
It's-
all of
it's
that
rough
to
stuff.
not
Yeah,
look like
see,
yourself, you know? Like I think that's just
Alex is going.
becomes
see,
more
That
terrible.
Lips Mahannis from Dick Tracy, like just straight up, like what are you doing?
Mrs.
That's
Potato
not
Head.
pretty.
Mrs. Potato
it
Head.
doesn't
It looks
matter.
like-
Tracy.
You can
Yeah,
always
it looks like
tell.
you just ate something that you're allergic to, and
You
it
can
like
it doesn't matter who it is. You can, and you being in LA, you see it all the time. You can tell.
oh yeah.
it's-
There's no
Yeah.
there's no way of like, oh hey, she had her lips done. Like you can't really tell. No, you can always tell
Boyle's
when
got
they
a
have
smile.
that done.
There it is.
I'm just like, be yourself. At the end of the day, be yourself.
Right. Amen. That's be yourself always. And that's been
Yeah.
our motto. Be yourself always. And if there's if there's somebody out there telling you that yourself isn't good enough, then fuck them. They're wrong. Be yourself. And
If you like pink shirts, wear 'em.
and as Boyle
And
would
salmon.
say, own your stroke. And
You know
own-
what? I just
own
you just
your
gotta
stroke.
you just gotta be you. It's the same thing for
Yeah.
like makeup and all this other BS that's going on these days. It's like, listen, back in the day when you're making bad decisions, like you want to know that you made one bad decision, not two, aka like one that's on your pillow that's like never gonna come off, and two that's like, man, I'm gonna have to wear that one around campus for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, I
Yeah.
just realized you should found a semi-pro basketball team because you'd be a great Jack and Moon 2.0. Between everybody
yeah.
love everybody and
Jack
love
and
yourself and own your stroke. I think we got our own Jack and Moon right here.
I love
Hey,
it.
I mean, it's
I'm in.
probably because of the midsection, but I have been compared to Will Ferrell more than once. Thank you, Salmon.
It's like
Thank
if
you,
Will
you
Ferrell
salmon
and
father
it's like if Will
fuck.
Ferrell and Adam Sandler kind of had a love child. That's kind of what I'm getting.
Exactly. And
With a
then
little
got
with a little
christened-
salt and pepper in the front.
Then
I
just
love
got christened by all this knowledge down the middle of their beard.
it. Yeah, you're
That's just
crushing
fucking statesman.
it. Dude, you're amazing. I'm so glad that you joined us. JJ, thanks for being here. I know that you got a lot of
Love you,
things
JJ.
going on. So it's always a good time to have you here. Alex, thank you so much for being here from LA. Tell Johnny that we love her and go Seattle. I know that you're rooting for Seattle because they play Cleveland about 15 times a week. So so root for them.
Oh,
Joe,
UFC.
good to see you, buddy. He switched back to USC for sure.
Dude, quit flipping
Joe-
your desk over that Bronny James is coming to your school. Like, seriously, it's a one
I'm a
and done.
tweeter. Yeah, he'll be there a year if that, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's all
Pretty
a
sure-
business
pretty
decision.
sure he-
That's just a business.
Pretty sure he just LeBron James will literally be sitting in my season seats. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he
How
bought.
many
Yeah, he
seats do
bought
you
them. They're
have?
right behind the bench. They're right there.
God.
Row 3.
Nice.
If
Okay.
LeBron James bought your seats, I can't even imagine.
I mean, he's going to be in the front row, but like the 2 rows ahead of us is scouts and like AAU coaches.
And the guy wearing the Roethlisberger jersey.
Oh, plenty
Get
of
that
Roethlisberger.
money.
That's right.
That guy's in the
That's
wrong freaking stadium.
Yeah, you'll have that, and he needs to go. And yeah, the guy in the Packers jersey at the Red Sox game is in the same boat. But
Big motorcycle guy.
Boyle, I've got one stat for you, if you don't mind, Mars.
yeah, this is the March Madness stat. Yeah,
March Madness stat. I've been holding on to this, waiting for you to be on the show. I'm so stoked that you're here. I love when you bet. I love watching you bet. I love being a part of your bets. You are the reason that betting exists, and it's incredible. And you and your wife are awesome. So amazing. This year, this past March, during March Madness, where you placed a bet or 100, if you would have bet $100 on every dog, that means every underdog to win on the money line, right? You would have gone 24 and 43. There were 67 total games, right? You would have won $1,979 on your $100 bet, betting on every underdog on the money line for every game.
yeah. I bet $10 a game and
wild.
won obviously a tenth of that. So
For Pete's sake.
yeah, but
Right.
that was
Yeah,
that was a
not
social experiment, and this year, so the taking them the bang for your buck on the upsets was enough to overshadow 23.
You always
losses.
got to take the dogs. You always got to take the dogs in March
19.
Madness.
Yeah, 19 losses compared to 24 wins, 43 losses. So 19 difference. But this past year we had a 16 beat a 1. We had some teams get farther than
Electric.
we thought they did. So and there was a lot of upsets. So yeah.
Yeah, but it
For
was
next year.
it was a good tournament. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the tournament.
Crazy.
So
Thought it was one of the best in the last 5 years. No
yeah,
doubt.
it's been pretty good.
Mm.
Boy,
Well, we're gonna have to take off for this week, okay? And we'll be back next week
Hey,
with more.
somebody
with more-
send Jared a proper colored shirt for next week. Also,
Yeah, we'll get JJ some clothes that fit, that are the right color. We'll paint his wall. Boyle will be back with more dynamite drop-ins, takes, bets, all of that kind of stuff. Boyle, open invitation. Come back whenever you want. We loved having you, bud. You're amazing.
Absolutely.
Amen.
We love you very much. JJ, thanks for being here. Tweeter, Alex, K Love. I'm Mars. This is StacheCast. Until next time, we love you big. StacheCast out.
Yeah, on your UFO. I've been on some other shit, just lost my fucking brothership. Now I think it's time to beam myself back to the mothership. J-Rock is my co-pilot, that's the one that I hover with. Love the way we stubborn, like we rule our own government. We come through so thunderous, like everybody else is under us.